how does a child see the world? And what if that child's autistic little brother sees it much differently? Well, my friend Sergio Liden has written his fourth book called His Own Way. Sergio, nice to have you with us.
Mr. Amezcua, it's a pleasure being here, especially with the fact that you have some Spanish in your blood, that you can actually pronounce my last name, which everybody sees. I can't even do it. I can only do it correctly in Spanish. So I have lots of love for you. I'm a huge fan of yours.
Thank you. Thank you. It's un placer conocerlo igualmente. And it's a pleasure to welcome you to the program. You have written some amazing children's books. I want to get into a little bit of the background, but let's talk about His Own Way, because this is a really interesting book. What was the genesis of the book?
My son was diagnosed in 2000. He was born in 2003. At the age of 3 in 2006, he was diagnosed with autism. The diagnosis, I had no idea what it meant. I wasn't sure if it meant it was a death sentence. Did it mean he was going to have issues for the rest of his life? For anybody who's listening, it's not a death sentence. So get that out of the way. Of course, the first thing that comes to mind is, overly concerned parent. I think they call them helicopter parents. What is the one where you're a lot closer and you keep your eyes on your child? That's the parent I am. So, I'm very much in tune with my children, and all of a sudden it scared the heck out of me. It scared my wife to death. So that first year between the ages of 3 and 4 for himself, he has a sister that's 18 months older. So for her, it was between the ages of 5 and 6 that I started looking back at some of the illustrations that she did during that period and saw that they were really sad. And I realized I really made a mistake, because with autism, when he was diagnosed back in 2006, it was in the United States, it was 1 in 150 children diagnosed with autism. The last statistics that we have here come from the 2016, which is 1 in 54 children diagnosed with autism in the United States. So whether it's that, are there more children being born with the diagnosis of autism, or is there just more testing? I don't know the answer. I am not a doctor, but there's a lot of siblings that are being lost in the shuffle. The story is told from my daughter's 5-year-old point of view, having a brother who's autistic, and what that means to the family structure, where the family is, the parents are completely concerned about the child. The book starts off with, my brother is autistic. It really is quite funny. Again, it's told from a 5-year-old point of view. I've written over 30 books, and they're all told by the child's point of view. This is, my brother's autistic. It really is quite funny. It means he opens and closes doors all day and hops around like a bunny. For her, that's what she saw. It's funny, opening and closing doors all day.
But it's interesting how children, at one point you've told the story where you laid down on the floor to get the perspective of what your daughter was seeing as a table, right? So you really have to get into their skin to kind of figure what it is that they're looking at. Tell me about that.
That story with the opening and closing doors all day, he did that. I stopped him from doing that because I was afraid that he was going to get hurt. So he cried for about 5-7 hours. So I let him open and close the door all day, and then I kept my fingers in the door jamb. So that's the difference in perspective between the parents seeing what's going on and the siblings seeing what's going on, and seeing that we completely ignored our daughter and understood we needed to actually pay attention. That's what the purpose of this book is, to give an enlightenment and understanding to parents that with your child with a disability, of course, we're concerned and we're going to pay a lot of attention, but don't forget the other siblings.
Children look at each other differently. They communicate on their own level. And you may think it's simplistic, but it's highly complex. They understand each other. I remember when I had my kids, they sometimes spoke they didn't speak English. They were speaking gibberish, and yet they communicated. They understood each other. And what I find fascinating about the way you've written this book is that your daughter and your son communicate differently than you communicate with each of them.
I love you for, oh my God, you are good, Mr. Amezcua. You are amazing. The ability to see that factor, because with the writing of Little Itty Bitty's first day, it takes 5.5. I just refer to myself as, from her eyes, as a giant. So you never see my head, or you never see the head. You never see the head of the parents in any of the books. For this one, It was the relationship and connection that they had with each other, which is something that I could never have done. Family therapy, nothing could I have done. I have learned so much from my daughter. You know, when the doctors diagnosed him with severe autism, the one individual who accepted him for his own way and doing things at his pace was his sister. Because of his sister, he started eating. Because of his sister, solid food, he started eating at age 11. It's eye contact. He's got incredible eye contact. Every morning I give him a kiss and a hug, and I sing him a song that takes about 20 seconds to sing. So I hug him during those 20 seconds. So this book is not only for the siblings of a child that has autism, but it's for the parents to understand and see, you know, we can come to a level of acceptance. There are much deeper levels. The books are very multifaceted in that way.
I think, Sergio, that the foundation of love in these books is obvious, and I commend you for the books that you've written, and especially this book. It's called His Own Way. Sergio Liden, I thank you so much for being with us. I look forward to more books from you and your perspective, and at some point, I'd like to talk to you about your remarkable life, because it has been quite an accomplishment and quite a journey that you have taken to get to this point. Thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much. We have about 30 books. They'll be coming out every month and a half, 2 months. And Mr. Mesquat, it was an absolute pleasure, and I love what you're doing over there at BEONDTV.
Thank you so much.